Hello, everybody. It is Jackie from Pocket of Preschool, and tonight we are talking all about tips and tricks for a Valentine's Day party. So all kinds of Valentine's Day party ideas. So I want you, really quickly, glitter everywhere, to tell me in the comments what your go-to trick, tip, whatever, all the things, anything about a Valentine's Day party that you think other teachers need to know about. So tell me that in the comments. So we have class parties every year, right? I've done other videos on, I think, Halloween parties and winter parties and Christmas parties. But how I do my parties is I basically line them up I kind of have like a routine to them. So we always eat first, so that way I can make sure everything is clean and their hands are clean. So we eat first, we do a gross motor, and then we end the party with some sit down activity. So that's kind of how we do the Valentine's Day party too. And I have a whole blog post with all of these tips and tricks. So click the link and make sure you go check that out after we're done. So, but I would start to say the morning of the party is kind of when I start some of it. So the morning of the Valentine's Day party for table time, because we've had, we've been making cards in the writing center all week, what we do for table time, the day of the party, is I put out writing paper, envelopes, heart cutouts, stickers, and then I also put out, I call these like phrases. Oops, that's for something else. I put out these phrases cards. So it says like, Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, be mine, my Valentine. I thought I grabbed so I put out an uppercase set. Oh, and be mine. Where's the other one? You're sweet. I put out these on the table and along with parts of a card. So cards need pictures and words. And we also have their name cards out in case they need help writing their name. Now I put out a set of these in uppercase and I put out a set of these in lowercase. That way everyone can be successful at their own level. My 3-year-olds are writing mostly uppercase because 3-year-olds' hands, are only able to really make those straight lines and basically the uppercase letters, right? So they use the uppercase letters, and then there's lowercase letters out too for my pre-K friends or my 3-year-old friends who have really strong fine motor and can write lowercase letters. And they just make a Valentine for someone who's coming to the party or someone in their family. So, or me, they can always make one for me. So they make a Valentine. So that's kind of how we start off my morning, because let's be honest, the day of the party, they're so excited, right? And families are going to be bringing in all the stuff, all their Valentines. So it's going to be kind of a hectic morning. So we have this out. It's an activity that we've already done all week. And it's just a kind of a fun way to end the Valentine's Day celebration. So that's one option. And then I usually have 2 different table time activities out. That way, once they're done with one, they can move the other. They can go to the other. That way, again, that morning is crazy because families are bringing in all the snacks and supplies and Valentines and all the things. I also put out a cutting tray at the other table. So all of these printables are in the Valentine's Day Math and Literacy Centers pack. So we have big hearts and small hearts. And then I put out glitter, some washi tape, stickers. And this is literally just cut up paper. Super simple, with glue and scissors. And that way they can cut out the hearts and they can glue them together. They can glue one and put stickers and glue on it and glitter. They can make whatever they want. So it's kind of basically a fun fine motor trait. And again, this is something we've probably already done that week, other than the party day. So again, it's something that they know and they're familiar with. So that way we can start our day off to a great start. So that's the morning table time. And I have a whole bunch of ideas for you guys. So after we do our morning table time, we do calendar. So right before the party, what we do is decorate. Now, the whole week before, I have planned activities to get ready for the party, right? So one thing we do is I grab a giant piece of butcher paper, and we kind of do like a collaborative painting. So I just take literally a huge piece of paper, and I cover the whole table, and then I squirt paint on it. And so I'll squirt the pinks and the purples and the reds. I squirt it all on it, and they can finger paint in it, or these loofahs are really fun, so they can sponge paint in it. So that's out one day either for art or a table time activity. And then once it's dry, I take it and I cut it into hearts. So that way these will be the decorations for our party, because it's their classroom, it's their party. So why not let them help decorate? And it's also a really good way for them to practice those fine motor skills. And it's a lot of collaboration and teamwork and sharing of materials. So they hang these up. I usually have like a sign or something I hang up, or maybe I'll have hung up any of the signs like before that day. And then I get crepe paper, okay? And then I put out scissors with masking tape, colored masking tape, regular masking tape. But you can see I have a couple, right? So I have enough to where each couple kiddos can share, or they can take turns. Because what they do is they can cut literally a small strip and tape it on the wall. So again, it's their preschool class. It's their classroom. I have a multi-age classroom with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. So some of them are just gonna do this, and maybe they're just gonna tape it to the chairs. They're gonna tape it on the walls. Maybe they're gonna do a really long piece, and one friend is holding one side and the other friend is holding the other side, and they have to share the tape. Sharing this, hanging up a really long piece with tape and scissors. One, their hands are small, so they have to coordinate all of that, right? So they have to figure it out and plan and problem solve how to hang this up. So they'll have to have their friend hold it on the wall while they're cutting the tape, or they'll have to ask their friend to cut the tape for them. So if they want to hang this on the wall, it's going to take 2 people. So again, lots of problem solving, lots of teamwork, lots of sharing, lots of collaboration. And it's so much fun. And while they're doing that, and we typically do this for most of our parties, they help decorate. And again, you can hang these up, or they can. It's totally up to you. It gets them excited about the party. And let's be honest, they're a little bit crazy anyways, right? Because it's party day. And they get to hand out their Valentine, so they're super, super excited. So let them move and go all around the classroom, because this is like really what my small group is, decorating the classroom. And I'm also cleaning the tables at that time, getting everything ready for the party. So we do this we decorate right before the party. That's right before. Kind of going out of order on this today. Oh, I showed the other heart at the beginning. So for art, usually Valentine's Day week, I kind of I cut out these giant hearts, and then I put out paint, crepe paper, doilies, ribbon, and glitter, and they just get to paint and glue beautiful heart collages. So we usually make these, so I have these hung up in the classroom as well, because how pretty is that? And it's a great fine motor, it's open-ended, they're all unique just like they are. So these are also a really fun thing to do the week of Valentine's Day. Now let's talk about the Valentine's Day bags. So now you have 2 options. You can decorate these the morning of. I've done that in the past, but if you do it the morning of, what happens? Somebody's absent, right? So I try and do these the day before. So I usually get all of these. I get these the year before on clearance. So the day after Valentine's Day, go to Michael's and grab a bag of these heart stickers. And I just grab whatever bags the Dollar Tree had. This year they were white. And that way everybody decorates their bag. So we have that for the day of the party. And then while the kids are decorating with all the streamers, on one of the tables, what I do is I put all of these bags out. Now, I do a girl table and a boy table when I had 18 kiddos. And I literally just line them up all around the outside of the table. But I ask that families don't put names of their friends on the Valentines, but sometimes they do. And that's okay. It makes it tricky, right? Because when I taught full day, we had 18 kids, and handing out Valentines where they had to match the name to the bag was almost impossible with a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. So I always asked and would send a note home saying, if you could please not put their friends' names on the outside of the Valentine. Some of them did, and that's okay. So what I would do is take their name cards, and I would literally put it in front of the bag. So that way, if they did have a name on them, they could match it up. Now, when I taught full day, we did these during center time because you have to do this one at a time with kiddos, right? Because they don't have one-to-one correspondence yet. They also don't have the best fine motor. So picking a Valentine out of a bag and then putting only one in each bag is hard. It takes a lot of work. So when I taught full day, we did the Valentines during open choice centers. And I have a picture on my blog of the table, and one teacher, one kid at a time. Or usually one teacher with one kid, and we would time it to where we would do breaks different that day. So there would be 3 of us, hopefully, doing the Valentines, because again, 18 kids doing Valentines is a lot. When I taught half day, we did it during the party, and if their family member was there, their family member would help them. And then I also had those family members help other individual kiddos. So let's say, Johnny's grandma was there, and let's say Jackie didn't have a family member there. I would have Johnny's grandma help Jackie after she did Johnny. So that way the parents are kind of helping all the other kiddos. And literally one kid per adult, otherwise every kid's not gonna get a Valentine, or they're gonna put a whole bunch in, and then you gotta get them out, and y'all know, that is a mess. It's all happened to us, right? And yeah, so that is how we hand out the Valentine. So again, you can do that during the party or at a different time. And again, do what works for your classroom and your kiddos that you have that year. One year you may have to do it during the party. One year you may need to do it before or at a different time. Okay, so let's get to the actual party. So again, first thing we do is eat. Second thing we do is gross motor. And then the third thing we do is the sit down activity. Okay, so let's talk about food. So I wanted to give you guys options and ideas. Uh-oh, there go the cookies. My own kids are gonna be very excited because they now have a whole bunch of treats. So I typically cover the table in butcher paper and let the kids color on it as part of decorating. So they're decorating, they put a piece of butcher paper on, they can color on it, and then we do plates. Again, I usually buy my plates the day after Valentine's in the clearance section or the Dollar Tree. But if you go to the Dollar Tree, you got to go there before Valentine's Day because they'll be gone the week before. So we have our Valentine's Day plates. And then I do a couple things. So again, and it's gonna depend on allergies in your classroom that year. So I always try and do a sweet treat. I love the little Debbie type treats. Here are some little heart cakes. You can also do these cookies. That way they have some kind of a sweet treat. And then for a drink, I just get something red. So these Kool-Aid Drammers would be perfect. If you do an open cup, that's fine. You can do water cups. You can have them use their water cup. We've done that too. So we got our red juice, and they have some kind of sweet treat, right? And then another fun thing you can do is do the little, again, just find stuff that's red. A red little, the red fruit snacks. Okay, so we got sweet treat, fruit snacks, Kool-Aid. Lots of sugar, yes, all the sugar. But I'm gonna come in strong with this next one for you guys. Okay, you can tell I went to Target today. I typically do apples or strawberry applesauce cups because they're pink, or these are some applesauce squeezers they had on sale. So that way we have some fruit and it's not just sugar. So we got some sweet, some fruit. And again, you can also do apple slices. Now, if you don't want to do this, let's say you don't, you're like, nope, my kids are enough fun. We don't, or maybe you don't want them to have that much sugar, and that's okay too. Again, your classroom, your admin, you do you. So I like to make a trail mix. It looks like I'm selling all these things. So look at these Cheerios I found, you guys. They have their little hearts and their strawberry. I love Cheerios because typically, check the label, they are They're usually like pretty allergy friendly, but again, check your label. Oreos are always a really good one. Most of the time. Oh, I usually put a little cup on there, but we're gonna, don't do this in the front. Use gloves. So we got some, what they're gonna do is you can make a trail mix. So they can have some Cheerios. And then I love doing marshmallows in my trail mix. And you can pre-make this before. And what I like to do is line, I just got these from Target. I have other ones too. So take these baskets and line them with plastic, we'll wash it and then line it with plastic wrap. And then you can put your trail mix in the little basket and then you can go around and scoop it on. And then, okay, so a little bit more sugar. And then do some M&Ms. Okay, so we have, so you can either do like a trail mix with some applesauce juice, and then we have some trail mix, or if you don't want to mess with the trail mix, just do like a little Debbie, like pre-made little guy. Okay, so again, it can be as easy or simple as you want. Tip, when I taught half day, I actually just bought the treats, and that way I didn't have, 4 things of cupcakes and 2 boxes of cookies, all of it. So I just did it myself. But if you want parents to sign up, literally tell them, say like Valentine cereal or a pink cereal, or like for fruit, you can put apples or strawberry fruit cups or real strawberries. That way the families can kind of pick and again, see what's in stock at their grocery store. So yeah, just tell them, or put like a red juice box. That way, if you have a sign up, it's super, super simple, and you're getting what you want, and you're not overloading them with sugar at the same time. And then the other thing we do, I have these in my classroom that I get out for parent-teacher conferences. Anytime we have like a birthday, sometimes they want like to decorate the table for their friends. Literally dollar store vase with gems in the bottom so they don't fall over, and dollar store flowers, and it just makes it look very Valentine-y with the flowers. Okay. So that's food. So why do I do first? Because I can make sure everybody washes their hands before we eat, and then after that, I make sure the tables are clean. We do the 3-step method in Missouri, and so we clean the tables, and then put the clean butcher paper on or tablecloth, and then we're good to go once all the families are there. So we did the eat, we did that. The next thing I like to do is gross motor, because they sat down, they had all the sugar, and now let's get them up and moving. So what I do is, let me get all my supplies. So I typically like to do like 3 games. So what you're gonna do, and I have pictures of this on my blog. I use this masking tape, pink, red. If you have regular masking tape, that's fine too. Make a giant heart on your floor where your circle area is, or just a big area you have in your classroom. And then what they're gonna do is you're gonna turn on the music, and you're gonna give everybody a rose. Okay, look, mine are loved, it's okay. So you're gonna do a couple things, or a couple different games with these. So the first time they do it, they are gonna put it on their head, and they're gonna walk on the heart, okay? You have the tape heart on the ground, they're gonna walk on the heart. And you can also, if you want to make it even more fun, you can play like Love Shack. You can search like fun, like a Valentine-y music. So the first time we walk around on the heart, they have to balance it on their head. And they walk, 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 okay? Then next time, so the music stops. And then for the next song, what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a heart, or a toss. So they're literally, because they each have one, and again, these are from the dollar store, you guys. And again, they're loved. You can use them year after year, it's totally fine. They're gonna throw it to their friend, and the only rule is they have to stay on, their feet have to stay glued to the heart. So they can reach and grab one that's in the middle, but they're literally just like throwing them at each other, okay? They're throwing them, and look, we're getting in lots of we're getting in some gross motor work, right? But the trick is, in order for this not to be absolute chaos, this is what we do the week for gross motor or music and movement time. we do these games, these party games, we do them during gross motor time. So that way, when all the families are there and they've had all the sugar and it's absolute chaos, they have played the games before. They know what the expectations are. They know how to play the games. They know when the music's going to start, when the music's going to stop. They know what they're going to do, what their friends are going to do, all the things. So that way, it isn't absolute chaos. And it is so much fun. Families love this game, and it's so easy. Again, just put a tape on the ground. And then I just keep all of them in a basket. And then you can also do, if you want, you can have them sit in like a circle. And again, they each have their own flower. And when you press the music to start it, they're going to pass their flower. Now, since there's, 8 kids or 8 flowers, so they each have one, or if you have 18 kids, I would divide it up into 2 groups. So they're sitting crisscross and they're going to be passing. Because again, there's a whole bunch of flowers. And it's kind of silly, it's kind of goofy, but it's so much fun. And again, it's really great because it gets them up and moving. We are practicing throwing, which is an objective that we need to cover. And it's just a ton of fun. And that way too, if little brothers and sisters are there, again, they've already played these games, so now they know what to do. So we have the heart toss. Now, another game, I love these foam hearts. You can also, so we have our tape down, right? Like, let's pretend that this is my heart. You can also put these on your tape heart, or you can even put the flowers there too. And when you press the music, they have to walk, and then jump over the flower or jump over the heart. And again, you have all your kiddos doing this, and they're walking around on the heart, and then they have to walk over and jump. But again, you've played this before. You did this during music and movement all week, and now it's just a fun party game. So that is one really fun idea that I love. And again, I get these baskets from like the Dollar Tree. I got these today from Target. They're so fun. So we ate, we decorated, we ate, and then we did our gross motor game. So the next thing we do is sit back at the table, because while we're doing the gross motor games, usually some family members who are in the classroom for the party, they'll help you clean up the table, hopefully, right? Or you can be like, hey, can you clean up these table? Here's the water and the soap, whatever, and they help you clean it. So I like to have everything on trays before the party starts. So like this is the next activity. I love this activity for parties because kids love it. Now you can do this a couple different ways, and it's a pretty cheap party game too, or party activity, and everybody gets to go home with something. So it's literally just straws. These are some I found one year at the dollar store. I just got out the Valentine colors. These are some heart beads. And then you can tell I have the cut up ones down there too. So what they're gonna do is make necklaces or bracelets. Okay, how much fun are those? These are some the kids have given me over the years. You can also do necklaces if your kids have great fine motor and they're gonna make these too fast. You can also have them make necklaces. Now you have a couple options. This plastic string is great because this part doesn't fray like string does, which can get frustrating for little guys and girls. Or you can use pipe cleaners. Now, because we have these big straws on here, what are they gonna have to do? And what? Oh, let me get this in. See how they kind of pop and go everywhere? Oh, they're just gonna have a blast doing that during the party, right? And the parents are just gonna be probably talking and having fun, and they're gonna be lacing and making these beautiful Valentine's Day bracelets. And if you can't find heartbeats, it's fine. Just use the straws. Now, also, as you can tell, I do the same games a lot year after year. So if I have cut straws that nobody used, like look on this picture, look right here. Look at all these cut straws. I will put these on here too, because if a student doesn't feel like cutting, they don't want to cut, that's okay. They can just use these pieces too. Or maybe there's, they have little brothers and sisters there, and maybe they don't want to cut, and maybe they just want to make a bracelet. So making bracelets or necklaces, you pick. And then you get to have gorgeous jewelry the rest of the party. I mean, win-win, right? And I would do 2 trays per table. So depending on how many kids you have, maybe, again, this is a lot, so you wouldn't necessarily need that much. So you could probably divide this up into 2. And you can put this kind of in the middle of both of the tables, and then they have stuff to go. But look, if you stack it, you can even have the scissors on there too. Like let's say you're gonna have 1 tray for 3 kids, put 3 kids. So you can put 3 pipe cleaners, 3 pairs of scissors per tray, and then now look, you are ready to go. All you have to do is set the trays out on the table, and you can keep going with your party. So I love doing necklaces for parties. Easy, fun, and again, easy and fun. And it's also great fine motor. Now, I always like to do some kind of math or sneak in some literacy. If you have my Valentine's fine motor mats, these are really fun to do at a party too. Those are a freebie in my TPT store. This is a freebie on my blog. So if you go to the top of the link, I'll actually put the link in the comments after we're done, the freebie link, so you can download it. And literally it's just a candy heart graph. So you can give everybody a box of sweet tarts, or you can get a bag and give everybody a small handful, and all they're gonna do is graph it, right? They're just sorting. Oh, sorry, they're just gonna sort it, right? So I have a whole bunch on here. Okay, there's also black and white options, so you can color it. They can color in the hearts too. Again, really, really fun. And then they get to eat all their extras. Now, if you don't want to do something with food, that's okay, or maybe you're not allowed to do food or lots of candy. This is also a really fun one. So you're just gonna make a shape in PowerPoint, make a heart. You can draw hearts too. You don't even have to use the computer. Everybody can have a different heart. And what you're gonna do, so you can do paper shapes, but grab your foam shapes and have them fill in the heart like a puzzle. This is great for spatial reasoning. And so it's kind of like a big heart puzzle, and it's really cute to take home. I got this idea from Friends Art Lab. She is so much fun. But it's a puzzle without being a puzzle, right? Because they have to flip and turn the shapes and make sure they all fit in. And it's, again, really fun. And if you have foam stickers, that works too. If you have these, you can use these for this too. You don't have to have the actual shapes. You can use hearts too. These will work too. Okay? So again, do what makes your heart happy for your party. It's your classroom party. You get to pick all the things. Now, I have another idea for you. So let's say you have a long party, or maybe you don't want to do the candy graph or whatever it might be. I have another idea for you. Make a sensory table that the students haven't seen yet, or maybe they've only played with it for 1 day. I like this one. I just made it for you guys tonight. So this one, let's see if I can move it up. This one is petals, like flower petals. And then some foam. These are from like the dollar store in like the party section, or you could use pom-poms. And then I also have these little pink buckets. I have a big bucket and a small bucket because you want to have different sized things in your bucket. I have some tongs so they can fill it up. And then if you look, I have those, a lot of the kids' Valentines come in these. They are those hearts that go together. So they can fill up the hearts. They can put the flower petals inside. And look at all of this fine motor, right? My hands have to work together at the same time. We're opening and closing. We're doing hand-eye coordination, all kinds of things, okay? And I also have I have these like little wooden hearts, so I put those in there too, okay? So you can also do a fun sensory table. And again, these are just from the dollar store. And then I have some little hearts inside. Again, use what you have in your, here we go. There's a better picture. Use what you have in your classroom. And I like this one because it's a non-food sensory bin because they've had enough sugar. And just in case they're a little crazy and you can't keep your eyes on them as well as you can because there's so many family members in your classroom for the party, they won't be eating this because it is it isn't food. It isn't rice. It isn't beans, anything. So put out some sensory tables. That's a fun idea for a party too, especially if you're a toddler teacher. And like this, you're like, no, we're not doing that. But a sensory table would be a really fun option for you. Now, as families are leaving, maybe you have this other stuff cleaned off the table. Why not end the party with a giant butcher paper activity? You know I love a good butcher paper activity. So, I covered this one with shapes. Okay, because it's Valentine's and there's hearts, right? For Valentine's Day. So we got an oval. I like to do different kinds of triangles, so that's why you see I always have 2 triangles. It's because you can have shapes twisted and turned different ways, because when kiddos are 3, they think a triangle is only that perfect triangle, right? They don't think about the other types of triangles. And an oval, you want to make sure it's different ways. So what they're going to do is you're going to give them some candy hearts, and they are going to trace the heart with the candy hearts. Now, you can also do this on the floor. And as they crawl around, they are using their arms and their shoulders, and they're working on all these upper muscles because they have to have strong, big muscles in order to have strong, small muscles to write and draw. So, I mean, how fun is this, right? They're making all the little shapes with the candy hearts. Now, if you don't want to use candy hearts, that's okay. Use heart gems, use pom-poms, use whatever Valentine's Day manipulative you have. If you don't want to use food, totally fine. So, but this is great too, because let's say, you know, it's the end of the day and because not everybody's family members can come to the party. So you might have, you know, 6 kids leave because their family members are at the party, and you now are left with 4 or however many. This is a great one to just get out and put on the floor, and they can do this until all their other moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles, whoever's picking them up that day, can come pick them up. I always did my party at the end of the day. So I gave them all the sugar and then sent them home, right? Yeah, so again, I have all of these ideas in a giant blog post for you guys, which is, the link is where the links are. And then if anybody's curious, these cutie patootie earrings are from Amazon. They're in my Amazon storefront, along with all my trays and things like that. So I hope you guys have an amazing night. One thing really, really quick before the only thing about them, they kind of twist a little bit. So here's it again, just super, super fun activity. So you guys have an awesome night.